So mini lecture number 2, we're going to focus on humanizing learning really works to advance a workforce that's ready to collaborate for the purpose of sustaining and improving outcomes. And in doing that, Tuckman in 1965 really set out to identify what made teams successful, and he identified 4 stages: forming, storming, norming, and performing. There have been some scholars since then that talk about a last and final stage of adjourning and moving on to a new team. But for the purposes of this mini lecture, we talk about teams moving from individual action to beginning to learn out loud as a goal-oriented group. So forming is when a group of people come together to accomplish a shared purpose, which you guys just did as you came up with your shared vision. Forming occurs when disagreements about the goal, vision, and approaches to completing the work happens. You combine this with the fact that team members are getting to know each other, and conflict will usually arise. Next, the team forms working relationships that enable progress toward the goals, and that's called norming. And then teams function and perform as assigned, hence the word forming defines them. There's some intentionality to design when you're working with your classrooms, so socializing nurses to learn in teams can better prepare them for the workforce. And online educators reduce transactional distance through these interactions. Here you can see the teacher's hand on a pre-recorded video lecture as intentional design. The hand provides an illusion of teacher-student proximity. And one of you want to grab that square and see what might be behind it? Ah, the intentional design of the male peacock. His tail feathers are attractive to mates, but it also intimidates predators. A key point from Garrison is that community of inquiry model, blended learning, and planned interactions improve learning outcomes. Go back out to the break rooms and follow the directions there. What I want to do is just talk about these for a minute. Both of you mentioned something about having creativity, and so here the picture reminds us that 2 + 2 = 5. So when you have the same, then that can be synergistic.
It does make sense, Anne. Thank you.
Oh, I definitely see what you mean about the strengths kind of complementing or compensating for the weaknesses.
So now we're going to move on to the 3rd mini lecture. And according to Rovia, the small group activities can affirm the human soul and create a sense of community spirit, trust, and meaningful interaction. And the types of activities that can be implemented for meaningful engagement are things like group discussions, debates, projects, and collaboration. Humanizing activities are really important for kind of touching the soul and making that meaningful experience. There's multiple opportunities that exist for humanized learning within online education and courses. Regardless of the assignments, the idea is to include your personality either through video streaming or adding media to create an inviting and safe learning space. And that mystery square that's there. Yeah, and so I really, like I said, I really like birds, and I think it would be a wonderful experience to be able to feed hummingbirds out of the palm of your hand. And hopefully that reinforces humanizing activities as a mental model for you. Video streaming is not really new, but it is kind of becoming a more popular way for instructors to work with their students. And you can use it to do a course welcome and to emphasize important concepts, as well as to provide learner feedback on papers and or assignments. The sense is that you are alive and you are personable and just really reaching through that screen to embrace that learner. Adding things such as wiki boards and wisdom walls allows students to develop new mental models and to visualize possibilities as evolving outcomes. And this video link here is something that you can go to learn more about the Wisdom Wall if in fact you did not look at that prior to this web session. I really encourage you to do it. And we're going to try some Wisdom Walls on for size here today. And so there are other ways that we can humanize with our students, and so what I was hoping is that you would come up with some ideas. So there's two skill sets we're going to learn here, and one of them is just reinforcing moving the media onto the wall, and then the other thing we're going to do is just go ahead and create a graffiti wall ourselves. Yolanda, you want to try to grab the one that's down here on the bottom and pull it up and put it on the board? Yeah, and so it's a party theme, and that is sometimes using the video conferencing, you can have people wear fun hats. You can celebrate people's birthday parties, etc., and that would really give you an opportunity to learn more with your students and socialize with them and have a presence. Craig, you want to pull the next one up? The dark blue one, which is a little hard to see, is actually, it says First Amendment, and there's an eagle there with a flag. And the idea for the First Amendment is that everybody has social equity to be able to speak. Everybody has a chance to participate. And then this other one here that says pics, and that is just to use pictures to add to a variety of ideas. And then Yolanda, you want to pull the other one up? And that's to keep your group sizes low. Now, I do want you to try a new skill. Go over to the pen and add some other ideas to the Wisdom Wall, and you can do it in any color, font, sizes that you want, on examples of how you might humanize your course and engage your students. And